Welcome, folks. Welcome. So I wait my guest. Welcome to Influences. Just taking a perspective of discussion tonight. And tonight I have for you two guests who will share their own stories of perseverance. Their story, one is an individual, the other will represent an institution where perseverance definitely is the key. So good evening. Good evening. I see you, Anne, first man on deck. Welcome. Welcome, my people. Welcome. I await my guest tonight, my first guest, but just to give you an idea of what this is all about, this is where I hope to also spend some time discussing with people of what I think people of interest, people of good repute, but not only these people, but just positive people, people who can share something on positivity and wellness. And when we speak about wellness, wellness is not just the absence of sickness or people not having any pains or any malady per se, but wellness in terms of our mental wellness as well, our psychological balance, what makes us all together, keeping ourselves together. So this is what, when I speak about wellness and positivity, positivity, I think, speaks for itself when we talk about wanting people to be positive. So I await my guest, my first guest, who will be Devon tonight. I'm hoping that he will drop in as soon as possible so that we can start our discussion to share with you his journey as a young man. And later on, we should be joined by Sister Rose Leon, who will also share with us the story, the journey, the perseverance of St. John's Academy. Yes, St. John's, SJA, the habit of using acronyms. So SJA. So this is what tonight is going to be about. It's the first time that I'm doing this. It's you could say a trial and error vibe, but I don't think there is any failure in that. I think everything is going to work out well tonight. So I want to thank all of you for being here already. I see that we probably have about a number of you here. I don't see everybody as yet. If you're here, just say hello. Let me say good night to you, to all of you. Good evening to all of you for being, and thank you all already for being here with us. And I'm hoping that this gentleman will join me very soon. Yes, very, very soon. Yeah. Hi, Mavis. Good evening. How are you? Hello, hello. Hello to you. Yes, and yes, I see you, Luchi. Yes, good evening. Good evening. Hi, Glenda. Yes, I'm awaiting my guest, as I said, my first guest, but this is about discussing with Portsmouth people from within our area. I just feel like we need to do more. Hi, Lester. Thank you very much. Bless you. Pinky, nice to see you. I think we need to do more to celebrate our own people. I don't think we do enough as a town to capture all people. We have a lot of distinguished people in Dominica, and especially even in Portsmouth. If you think about it, we don't have to go too far. We can just make a little survey and we'll realize how many distinguished individuals we have in this town. And I don't think any number of nights are going to be able to capture some of the great things that some of our people have done and some of the great people that we have. And I want to use this platform, this opportunity, this you could say this medium to truly explore our people, to sell the idea of our people, but not just our people, our town, the town of Portsmouth. So I'm hoping that maybe some of you here will be the next in line to be interviewed by influences at some point, So hi, Nurse, welcome. Good evening. Yes, Devon, if you're just trying to just check your message that I sent you with the link. You should get that in your Facebook Messenger, I think. So if you can do that, so that we can get going. Yes, and I also expect that later Sister Rose Leon will join me. I want to say who comes first at this point because right now I think your time is precious on a Friday evening. So I want to thank all of you for doing that. Yes, yes. Lester, I like the term Empress. Thank you very much. I have a Rasta brother who says, the ladies are the Empress. So very good. So while you're here and as we wait for our guests, I mean, can you tell me anything about, the town, people, anybody you would probably like me to try to reach out and talk to as pertains to Portsmouth? Feel free to tell me as pertains to the north of the island, Dominica. But for me, it's mainly right now, I am very concerned about the fact that as a community, we have, you know that cliche, or people are always saying, hi, Kareem from Chance. Boy, this is good. Welcome home if you're home, but I doubt you're home considering COVID. But welcome, Kareem. I see you two big guys. I will definitely reach out to you. You might be one of those people, Kareem, who I will reach out to and say, hey, let's talk. Let's talk about you, about your whole interest in the town as well. So I want to call it a place for us to dialogue about what's happening in our town. I don't have all the answers. Probably I don't have any answer, but I think if we dialogue, if we create an avenue for us to have a rapport, that it will be a great thing for us and for the generation that's upcoming. I mean, let's be real about it. A lot of the young people from our town do not know a lot of the history of Portsmouth, and I don't even know all the history myself. Okay, so I see Anne says, or priest growing up in Portsmouth, football player. Yes, so you would like to have Father Elvio, yes, as somebody who should be interviewed. I agree. And I think we should explore Father Elvio as well. As a matter of fact, Father Elvio was one of those people who made it to the Hall of Fame in 2018 when we had Heritage Day being celebrated in Portsmouth. If you all remember that, we had a whole wall, a whole room, as a matter of fact, and it was called the Room for the Hall of Famers. And if you go on my YouTube channel, you will probably see where I downloaded I think I have something like a downloaded version, a video of the document that I put together, capturing all the people from the Hall of Famers, right? So I'm hoping that even some of these wonderful people who are alive, those who are alive, can actually make it to have a dialogue with them at some point. But also maybe the people who know the history of some of these people as well can come on board and share their views with me. So and with us, with not just me, but you, with me, with all of us. All right. So yes, I see you, Judy. Hello. Thank you, Nurse Crystalline Thomas. Hello. Yes, welcome. Yes, Gina Severi. Okay. Gina Severi. Is she from Portsmouth? Well, yes, Severi rings a bell. My mommy might know Gina Severi. I can't say that I know Gina Severi. Shame on me if I don't. But I'm sure this is somebody to know. Yes, or musical greats. Yes, we have a lot of great music. Oh my goodness. We have so many bands, right? From Portsmouth. My mommy would tell me stories about some of those bands from Portsmouth. We know the great Gordon Henderson, okay, hails from this town. And he too was one of our Hall of Famers. I hope he will grace us, just little me, to talk to me, to you, so I can share with you about his journey, maybe being part of Portsmouth, etc. Hi, Nadi. Good night. Welcome to you. Yes, as I said, we're waiting on Lester. Sorry, not Lester. I'm sorry, Lester. You're lingering in my mind tonight. I see Sherlock is saying that I think we should reach out, and let me just put that on the screen so you can see it. I think we should reach out to any of the young boys on the block to hear their stories. I agree with you, and it has been playing on my mind. There are some of them who they stand out very strongly in my mind. I think of one who goes by the name of Jonah. I know he's Jonah Brede on Facebook. He's very vocal on Facebook. He's a great footballer. He has been playing football for a number of years. And I know during the election season, he was very controversial. I'm not so interested in the controversial matters. Truly, I'm just interested in development, in positivity, in wellness of people, and seeing how we can build our people up, So, yes, as a matter of fact, I think we should explore that, Sherlock. So I am definitely going to try to compile that list that you all are giving me here so that I can explore some of these people and reach out to them and see if they would be interested in talking to us, So I see, and you say Mr. Murphy Wallace. Oh yes, I have such great respect for Mr. Murphy Wallace. Um, such great respect for him. And Malcolm Brewster, if you would go to your messenger and go to the first message that I sent you, you will find the link for you to just hit that link, and then I will see that you're trying to get in. Please just try to do that so we can start our discussion. The folks are waiting for you, bro. So get there, get there. All right. So yes, Jonah Breeder. You see, Miss Julie, you agree with me, right? Tan man, that's the man. So somebody like him, I'd like to talk with him. I think he has a lot of views as a young man. We have some of them who have, very strong perspectives on various matters of the town. Yes, so I was saying Mr. Murphy Wallace, and I see that you suggested him, and Mr. Wallace is definitely a very, very distinguished gentleman. For me in the town, I've seen him. He has trained a number of young boys, young men, and probably women too. Yeah, in electrical wiring. As a matter of fact, me being a youth development officer, when I was the youth officer on the district, I remember Mr. Murphy Wallace was one of our instructors in electrical wiring. That time we had trainings all the way from Penville and Portsmouth and other parts of the north. And he did a fabulous job. He was very much like a father figure to the trainees, not just an instructor. So we have great people in our town. And I think sometimes we don't get to embrace them enough. Glenson Prince, yes, who can forget that great footballer and that goalie, we want to call him. So yes, I see you. I see that, Pinky. I will definitely reach out to such people. And I hope they will be open, to talk to us. Hey, Quaps, what's up? Rodriguez Panty, I see you linking. Karim is a great man too, Nobody's saying Karim Farrell. I'm picking on him tonight because he has two big eyes watching all the way. He says he's in chance. Anybody's convinced? I'm not. So I'm not convinced that Karim is in chance, but he's listening. So it's great. He's one we can talk to as well because he has a lot of ideas, I'm sure. You see, look, Judy agree. Yes. Karim, I hope you see that. She says yes. So I really, really want to talk to such people in our town and to create a dialogue, not just to talk to people, but let's talk about Portsmouth. Let's talk about what we can do. Let's talk about what we are able to do. I am not a politician. I am just a simple resident of the town of Portsmouth. I love Portsmouth. I have lived here all my life, except the days that I probably went on vacation somewhere, or I spent 3.5 years in the United States studying for a degree. Apart from these things, my whole life has been in this town of Portsmouth. And like some people say, and it has become such cliche, I'm afraid to even say it, Portsmouth has a lot of potentials. But where is the potential? Who is the potential? How do we harness? How do we garner that potential? What is the potential? Can somebody put their name on the potential? Because I'm still, trying to figure it out myself. Okay, so maybe you are the potential, you're from Portsmouth, etc. I check messenger, please. Oh, Jesus Christ. I cannot check messenger. Let me see if I can do that. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to see if I can link with our young man there too. So bear with me. But yes, we have to explore that. Okay. And the story of my life is I cannot check messenger because my phone is my camera at tonight as well. I'm still struggling to hook up another camera. If Karim was around, probably I'd get help, but he's not. He's a techie man. So all right. So I see we all have something to add and contribute to move Posse forward. Thank you, Nadisha. That is very true, and I agree with you. And that's what we would like to see, that all of Portsmouth people are definitely on board with us and recognize that we all have something that we can contribute to the town of Portsmouth. Yes. And what I like about what Sherlock said is the fact that even the young men that we might take for granted on the street, these guys, these guys do have something to say. Judy, there's a threat for you I hope you're seeing that there's a threat for you there. So you better put yourself in order because there's a threat for you. The hard part about this is trying to multitask. Okay, so let's deal with this. I see your comments, folks, and I really, really want to. Judy, you say potential, yes. Okay, Rodriguez says that he's the product of Mr. Murphy Wallace, and I agree that he is because I remember being the officer there when he was one of the trainees. Yes. So let me give you a little music still as I try to do this. Should try to get our guy on. Okay, please just bear with me. Bear with me. Don't go anywhere, please. Still trying to get young Brewster to join me. Just take a little music. This is not my. Yes, so the goodness of the Lord is running after me. It's running after you. It's running after Portsmouth. And where does that come from? Psalm 23, it says the good, surely your goodness and your mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. So I'm not a preacher, but I just thought I would plug that in because maybe people hear like God's goodness running after me and be like, where's that from? It's from Psalm 23, okay? So anyway, hopefully our guy will come on. I'm still trying to get him familiar with this. So hopefully he will come on. But as you're there, you have given quite a bit of suggestions, and I am truly, truly happy. Look, I love this person who says, I am proud of where I was born. Alitha George, me too. Very, very proud of where I was born. Portsmouth, Portsea. We call it Portsea, we call it Portsmouth. I just love this place, truly. Um, yeah, Rod, Co-ops, you're welcome. Thank you, Miss P, for all the programs that the division offers. Yes, indeed, we have tried our best to make a difference. Judy, I want to know if you were born in Portsmouth. Karim, Judy said she was born in Portsmouth, so I don't know if you can verify that for us. Hopefully, we will not. Hopefully, we will not ask her to produce any documents to prove that. Okay. Okay, so this is a great initiative, Miss P. We need unity, firstly, to begin growth and development in our dear town. I agree with you. And as a matter of fact, I can tell you that this is one of the things that has been truly on my heart, like more and more. I realize that as a people, because we are not as strongly unified as we need to, then we cannot harness the productivity that is possible among us. And it takes you, it takes me, and in the leaders in the community to bring people to a place of unity. And I'm hoping that this simple medium that we're using here can start the connection. So we'll start virtually and integrate into the actual physical, where we can meet, where we can connect, where we can talk, where we can discuss in a relatively safe and you could say just comfortable environment where everybody feels free enough to speak. That the diversity of people is respected and that people are still free to share their views and their thoughts on the development of the town and other such matters. So I sure hope that we can take advantage of that. Another thing I note is that we do have. Okay, so I see my guys almost there. We do have a number of people in the diaspora who are certainly, able to contribute to who we are as a people. Okay, so just try to. You might have to mute your stuff a bit, yes, so that we don't get the feedback. But yes. All right. So I see that we have our guest with us. You all can see him already, right? The young and handsome. Knew I'd get a smile from that, so that was deliberate, yes, but it's true. The young and handsome Devon Malcolm Brewster. And I like to ask people, how do you prefer to be called? And I'm hoping that you will tell me it's Devon. So
Yeah, you may call me Devon.
yes, okay, wonderful. So good evening to you, Devon.
Good evening.
Yes, and welcome. Welcome to, I don't have a name yet. So, but I go by the name of Influences on my Facebook page and on my blog and on my YouTube channel. And
Right.
I am hoping that influences will probably be the word that will linger in all of our minds, because the key is to influence positivity and wellness throughout the whole process of our dialogue, right?
Right.
So, welcome to Influences. And first of all, I want to go straight into this because we have kind of lost some time already, and we do anticipate the next guest in a few minutes' time. So I want to give a little preambles, first of all, of why Devon Malcolm Brewster. Why is it I reached out to you and said, hey, I'd like to talk with you? First of all, I want to say that I think you do have a story. You do have something to share as a young man. You are a preacher. You are you are a preacher. Yes, I've seen you preach just about 3 weeks ago.
Right.
You invited me to your church on a Sunday morning when I did not have the ability to go to mass because we have clusters. And so I don't know who told you that my cluster was not the one that was going to mass, but you did your homework and you reached out and you say, hey, sis, I'll be preaching on Sunday. Can you come to mass, to service? And I said, sure. And I must say that I was very moved by the preaching. So you're a preacher, but tonight I want to focus a lot on who you are and also the fact that, and most importantly, that currently you are a medical student. And I kind of want you to share with us your journey, into getting to become a medical student and your journey for the last 4 years. Am I correct? Or are you going to your fourth year? So 3 years,
Yeah,
pretty much?
I'm in my fourth year now. Just started my.
Excellent. So I'm going to pass the baton to you. They've heard me for quite a bit already. Tell us a little bit about who you are. I know you are the son of two great parents, Miss Brewster and Mr. Brewster, our former mayor of the town of Portsmouth. So I don't put that aside. That's very important. But
Right.
but we all know that you are the child, the wonderful child of Mr. and Mrs. Brewster. Tell us some more about you, please.
Right. So first of all, I want to just say good evening to your listeners and to those who would see this after its broadcast. I am
Yes,
very much appreciative, first of all, Ms. Paula, for the invitation,
yes,
and of course, you know already my admiration for you and for your work with young people in Dominica, and I just want to commend you for that. And
appreciate
I just hope that we can continue and we will inspire persons in our community to take up the mantle as well, because it's our responsibility. No one can do it for us to advance our community
true.
to where we want it to be. What about myself, Devon Malcolm Brewster, born and raised in the town of Portsmouth. Um, I would have gone to the St. John's Primary School and PSS, where I credit most of the laying down of a foundation for a lot of aspects of my life right now. In PSS, I debated, I worked in the savings club and everything, and that was where I really learned first of my leadership potential. And
Mm-hmm.
I give God thanks for the wonderful teachers and my last principal there, Mr. Austri, all of
Yes.
whom have definitely encouraged me and pushed me, and I can credit them for what I've made of myself thus far with the help of God. I matriculated into the Dominica State College in 2014. That was after completing my CSEC subjects, and I went there to do an associate degree in
Mm-hmm.
biology, chemistry, and physics, and graduated from the State College in 2016 with honors. I always had a plan and a dream of advancing to university right away. I'm one of those persons who I want to think that I have a plan for my life, and I hope that it is inspired by God and it's God plan. But I think many of us should be able to relate to the reality whereby we plan things,
Mm-hmm.
we try to set everything in a row, and some way somehow it just seemed like God had other plans and it just goes a different way.
Yeah.
But that's where our faith comes in, and the trust in our God comes in, to know that in spite of whether or not things proceed in the way that we've planned, that
Mm-hmm.
because His plan is to prosper us and not to fail us, then whatever happens is part of that divine plan, and we just have to trust the process.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always knew that, okay, at this time in my life I want to do this, at this time I want to do this, and based on how I saw it, going to university was right away after college was in that plan. So
Yeah.
I applied from early and got everything going. One of the things that was different in me from my peers is that I always wanted to study in the Caribbean. I consider myself a citizen of the Caribbean, not just a
Yes.
citizen of Dominica. I believe in our potential and believe in the greatness that our region produces.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was never really too excited about the US or the UK in terms of studying and that sort of stuff. I always wanted to study in the Caribbean. And so I got an opportunity in 2015 to go to Jamaica for the first time. And I went there as a music teacher for a music camp. I was
I remember that.
invited. Right, right. Yes, and you would have contributed to that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're
um,
welcome.
I, I I was in St. Kitts in 2014 at a church convention, and a pastor there they would have invited me to join a music team from Oklahoma that was going to Jamaica to teach music and basically just minister through music. Well, I guess I could just insert there for those who do not know. I am an organist. I play the
Yeah.
organ. There's
Mm-hmm.
not a big organ culture in Dominica, and many people don't even know what the organ is. It's
Yes.
not the keyboard, it's not the piano. I guess it's in the family.
Yeah.
But I'm an organist.
I tend to think it's like the father of the keyboard and the father of the those little pianos and stuff.
Well, you
Honestly.
see, I could tell you this, and maybe perhaps person might think I'm biased, but you
Yeah.
see, the organ is the most versatile instrument in the world.
Yeah.
And many people don't know that because many people just associate it with dead hymn singing, what everyone usually just stereotype the Methodist Church as,
Yeah. Yeah.
they know but it's a beautiful instrument, and it's
Hmm.
my first love, and
Yeah.
that's my passion in terms of music. My
Yes.
journey with music actually started with Mr. Rodriguez Pante. I started late. Yeah, it was a very short stint. It wasn't that long.
Yes.
Um, I did
Yes.
I had some classes with him at the youth center.
Youth
Um,
center. Yeah.
and then after I stopped going to that and I went on YouTube and I learned how to read music online. And I would
Hmm.
always, from very young, I started traveling a lot with church because I was involved in youth ministry and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially in St. Martin, I would go to St. Martin every year with my grandmother. And everywhere I travel, every time I go to different churches, I find myself next to the musician. I'll ask them questions and so forth. And it is from a series of online and asking questions. At one point, I would go to Roseau every Saturday and play the organ at the Anglican Church
Hmm.
with Mr. Joel Santos. And all of that just helped craft my love for music, love for the organ. I used to play steel pan as well. I've always been in love with music, and any instrument I got my hands on, I was able to, do something with it. But yeah, I digress.
Yeah.
So I
Hmm.
I went there to Jamaica first to do that. And then I came back to Dominica, and for that summer, I had my own little summer music program going on there. And it was not until the following year, the plan was that, okay, I applied to university. So I would go to university in Kingston. So given that, they invited me again. So the plan was that I would do 3 weeks of teaching music in rural Jamaica and then go to Kingston for
Hmm.
university. Just, kill two birds with one stone. But I applied and I had not gotten a response. And I was still confident, I'm still pushing on, I'm not going to be dejected and everything. And it was actually on the very day that I was leaving Dominica, bound for Jamaica, that I found out that the scholarship I was applying for, I did not get in. I did not get it, and I did not get admittance into the program. And it was not until afterwards that I found out that it was an issue on my transcript that caused that. Whereas although I was completed with my degree, my transcript said that I had not graduated. Anyways, little
Yeah.
things. But of course, as with everything else, I was very disappointed, and I
Hmm.
was too depressed to function when I got to Jamaica. So I did not really go on with that music program. But of course, the question is, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to
Yeah.
return to Dominica to work or whatever? And they gave me the opportunity to stay in Jamaica to minister there, and I received a stipend. I was able to work in the capacity as a director of music ministries for 6 churches there, And that is what I did for that year between 2016 and 2017. And I mentioned that in terms of my journey because it was in that year where it did not go as planned. I was very sad about the reality of having not been in university and being there. But that year in Jamaica really was a defining year for me. A defining year for me. It was where everything became much clearer to me in terms of what God wants for my life. And the conclusion that I made from that year, it was rough at some times. It was really good at some times because part of it is that okay, I was working in rural Jamaica. The reality is that when persons my age group get to my age group finish with sixth form as they have it there, they move either to Kingston or move out of the country. So there were not a lot of young people. So there was a sacrificing of my social needs as well and stuff. It was a big sacrifice. But at the end of it all, I realized and I confirmed that God was calling me to a ministry of music, a ministry of word and sacrament. I preached there every month. I basically worked alongside the minister there, and also a ministry of medicine. Because I mean, my mother being a nurse, I always followed her when she went on her different talks and so forth. And that's where I got a first appreciation for public health.
So
And
that's where you could say that was the that is what triggered your grand interest into wanting to be
right,
part of the health sector.
my mother, both in her work as a nurse,
Yeah,
and seeing her work among the fight for against chronic non-communicable diseases, as
yeah.
well as her own issue with health, having been diagnosed with glaucoma, and I started researching and everything. And in fact, when I entered medical school, I decided I wanted to my aim was to become an ophthalmologist. Of course, that has changed a little bit, but I could mention that
Okay.
later. But it was all to become an ophthalmologist because there's a strong history of glaucoma in my family, and that is what really piqued my interest. But yeah, but I completed my stint in Jamaica, in rural Jamaica. That 10 months I was there, and I came back home. Now I had applied for university and still not gotten any response. And then time came, and time for me to head back to Jamaica to go to university, right? And I went to my parents and I told them I'm booking my flight to head back to Jamaica to go to university. And they asked me, what am I going to? I've not gotten an acceptance or anything. I mean, I remember the very minister I was living with the week before I traveled. I said, can you believe I'm going to be a university student next week? He said, how are you going to be a university student? You've not gotten any acceptance. But I just had the confidence.
So you moved in faith, believing that you were going to get in.
Right. So I went back to Jamaica without acceptance for medical school. I had acceptance to do a bachelor's of science degree with the Faculty of Medical Sciences because that's what they usually do. When you apply for medicine, they first run your application to that faculty, so you get an offer for that. And then they run it to the medical faculty. So I said, if anything, I would just do my Bachelor of Science degree. I had applied for student loan for that degree and gotten everything approved already. So that was the fallback, although at that time, to anybody, it would look like that was the only option. But I knew that it's medicine is what God called me to. And that was what I'm going for. So I got to Jamaica, went onto the hall, put down my stuff, and I went to the admissions office. And I asked to see the medical sciences representative. And she brought up my application and she looked at it and she said, oh, Mr. Brewster, I think I see the problem now. Your grades didn't seem to be too good enough. So
And you're
I'm
already at the university.
right, right.
That's what
I'm
you
at
do.
the university. Right.
Yeah.
I'm at the university because I called and called, I kept calling and no answer and anything. So I decided I'm going to take the leap of faith. Right. And so I'm at the university now. My stuff are packed on the hall, and she's telling me my grades were not good enough and stuff. So I was, of course, confused, and she's digging deeper, digging deeper. And then she said, wait, wait, your associate degree, oh, you graduated with honors. I'm like, you think? And stuff. So then they realized now that there was an error that they made in interpreting
Yeah.
my results. And it just happened that while I'm sitting there came in the dean of the Faculty of Medical Sciences. He just stopped by the registrar's office to check on something. And so the admissions representative went to him and I guess spoke to him about my situation and stuff. And she told me, well, there is no guarantee that there's any space or that I would meet the requirements, but definitely they have to review everything. So just go back to hall and participate in the orientation activities, and they'll let me know by Friday. That was a Wednesday. Now, you can imagine, I left that office and I'm red hot. I'm angry, I'm upset. I
Yeah.
went to hall. I don't want to hear anything about orientation. I locked myself in my room and I was just mad. And I went to sleep early and everything. And I woke up 5:30 in the morning. They knocked my door for orientation activities. Of course, I'm not about that life. And I'm upset. And I look at my phone and I see an email came in that said, congratulations, you've been accepted into medical school. So, of course, I'm beyond words excited. But I learned a lesson right there because the email actually came in at 6:30 p.m. the night before.
Right.
Right? Had I not succumbed to my humanness, if you put it that way,
Yeah.
where I was so upset, and I guess in that moment I even doubted God. I would have seen from the night before that I was accepted, and not endure the agony of waking up so many times in the night, turning and twisting because I'm upset.
So from what you're chronicling here, it's something that I know, like for the past years that you've been at school, because thankfully you got in, and but it has not been an easy one for you as far as
Right.
getting through every year. How have you been surviving university? You don't have a scholarship, am I correct? Did you even get
Right.
any scholarship? And
Well,
how have you been surviving to get to the point of, because your parents ask you how you going. So
right.
right, so you did not get a scholarship. Yeah, I realize that from what you've shared, a number of hurdles have already been highlighted.
Right.
How have you been coping? How did you get to the point of even making it to year four? Can you get to that part, please?
Right. So definitely, as you state, I mean, when I started, my parents said that they couldn't afford that. But I took the leap of faith. And shortly after I entered, there was Hurricane Maria that
Yes.
set things back a lot.
Mhm.
But again, because of the fact that I was in Jamaica before I lived there, it meant that things were a lot easier in terms of, I mean, getting help from the people that I would have worked with. I mean, sometimes I'm on hall and I get a call, Devon, I gave such and such a person a bag for you, and so forth, with fruits and vegetables and food. When I got to
So
Kingston, I started.
can I interrupt you to recognize that a foundation was set before you started school in Jamaica, so you could have all that network and all these friends to take care of the little nitty gritties that we might take for granted on a daily, the food and the drink and the little social life that is helping to keep our minds together, and the people you
Yep.
can call in time of distress.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It was just amazing.
yeah,
And it goes back to what I said when I started, which is that God's plan is just interesting, even when
yeah,
things look like it's going haywire because it doesn't go according to our plan. His
yeah,
plan is perfect. And so I had the people that I worked with, my friends that I made the year before to rely on. I
hmm,
started working as an organist at a church, a historic church in Kingston. I was appointed assistant organist, so I would play there twice a month. I played at funerals and so forth, and that's how I was able to survive year one.
yeah,
Thankfully, the university was gracious enough to give a sort of grace period in terms of payment of tuition because of the impact of hurricane on the country. So it was really just a matter of survival. By about October, I started in September. October, I started working as a textbook delivery boy for a company that sold textbooks to medical students. So I started delivering textbooks to students. I did that for a year, and then I realized that I needed to do something for myself to change my situation, a bit, because I couldn't see myself being in that position for 5 years. And so I started doing tutoring. I started working more on my craft as an organist, to get out there more, get to play at more funerals and so forth. I started selling textbooks, selling lab coats, selling hard drives, anything. Everybody on campus, everybody.
You became an entrepreneur while you are trying to make it.
Right. To support myself.
Excellent.
And then in January of 2019, I was appointed senior organist at the church that I was. So I was no longer assistant. I was senior organist. So I was able to earn some money, earn some more money, and so I was able to. I am able to pay my rent, and survive from the sweat of my brow.
Sorry, without cutting you. So it doesn't mean that currently because of COVID, you had to come back home. But
Right.
does it mean that whenever you get back there, that you are still a senior organist of that area?
Correct. So once I land back in Jamaica, I have my job back. And also what has happened, which I'm gonna get to right now in terms of my concerts. But as a result of my last concert, I got a lot more exposure to different churches, and so many churches email me and call me and want to know when I'm coming back because they want me to play either on Sunday or funerals and so forth. So there's that too. But to get to I guess the most substantive part, which is I guess what everybody really knows, is owing to all of what I've already explained and so forth, with hurricane and everything, I ended up in a situation whereby it became difficult in terms of affording the tuition, because everything did not go as planned, and which we already said is an inevitable reality sometimes. And so I found myself in a situation whereby I was unable to pay for a year's tuition, which is $28,000. I give God thanks. The government of the Commonwealth of Dominica did pay for 1 year. They paid for my second year, I believe. They paid 80% of that, and so my student loan, which covers the other 20%, was able to pay for that. But I was left with the responsibility to raise the funds, $28,000 to pay for an outstanding year. And it was when I was confronted with that situation, I was, of course, under real pressure, a lot of pressure. But again, with the support of friends and family, a really close friend of mine, Mario Ricketts, he started a GoFundMe.
Yes, I remember that.
Right.
I was able to put this on my blog and encourage people to work in and support.
I remember
Yes.
You made a blog post that helped to motivate persons to contribute. And so the GoFundMe and just the general social media campaign enabled me to raise quite a bit of funds for that. And then someone shared with me the idea and told me, why not just have a concert? Why not just have an organ recital? And I took that idea and I sort of expanded on it a little bit more, because I did not feel that I was at concert competence in terms of the organ. But what happened is that being in Jamaica, I sing with the university singers at the best choir in the Caribbean. I am engaged. Excuse me?
What do you sing? What's your?
I sing first base. Yeah.
Excellent.
Right.
Excellent.
So we practice twice a week, and that in itself too. Again, music therapy keeps me sane in all this stress.
So someone is asking what motivated you to keep going and to keep diversifying.
Well, you see, what motivate me is this simple thing. If I
Yeah.
don't do it, nobody gonna do it for me.
Yeah.
As simple
That's
as that. That's the best way to summarize it. I looked at the situation as a test of my resilience, my
yes.
tenacity, my strength, and I knew it required me not to cave in to the pressures, but to do whatever I had to do. And I think it was also a manifestation of my personality as well, because my personality is such that I believe in doing as much as I can for myself first.
Mhm.
And it is only when I've exhausted every opportunity to do what I can to help myself that I reach out to others, right? And so I always accept that responsibility. And I knew that, okay, doing one thing was not enough. My mother
Yeah.
always stressed to us the importance of skills.
Hmm.
She always say you can get whatever degree, but it's skills that's
Skills.
gonna get you out of the holes. It's
That's
skills that's
correct.
gonna make money for you and that kind of thing. So I mean, I knew I was not professionally trained in the organ.
Yeah.
It's very informal, and so in that first year, I intentionally try to put in a lot of time in terms of perfecting my craft, and
Hmm.
that's something to help me market myself. And that's really what it's really the both the inner drive and also the fact that I know that there are so many people out there who are looking out for me, who are praying
Yeah.
for me, who are
Indeed.
supporting me, who are literally investing in my future. I cannot
Mhm.
have them waste their money, waste their time, their energy,
Excellent.
to
Excellent.
be in Jamaica forming the fool, you know?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it just being purpose driven.
Okay, so thank you for that. I remember just before you came back home, before this whole COVID situation, you of course were planning to come home for summer, and but your plan was prior to coming, you would have had one concert in Jamaica, and then when you come down, people like me and other people would come and give a free performance in a concert that would assist you in making some fund or raising some funds to
Mm.
go towards your tuition. Obviously, COVID took everything and turned it all over.
Yes.
How do you feel today, young man? Because, I mean, school has begun. How are you
Right.
surviving? What's going on with you?
Okay, well, so just to say, as you said, I mean, I had my second concert in Jamaica, which was really successful. But
Mhm.
again, that would not have been enough to cover the tuition. And I always said to myself, I need to give something to the people if I'm asking for something in return, rather than just come and say, give me some money to help with my tuition. And so, of course, again, we make plans and some other plans. But I mean, where I'm right now, I am not dejected. I'm not down. I think
Excellent.
my faith is much more boosted than it has ever been before.
Mhm, mhm,
Fourth year would have started just 5 weeks ago.
mhm.
Today I would have completed my fifth week. Again, because of coronavirus, we've started online. Now, anybody who follows my page would have probably seen that sometime, maybe about 6 weeks ago, I posted that, I mean, fourth year is starting, and I cannot start because I don't qualify. Even today, I don't qualify to start fourth year
Yeah,
financially, because
yeah.
you have to clear off the debt from the year before you are able to register again.
Mhm.
But again, I mean, I reached out to my dean, but it was not reaching out for help. I think it was that one moment where I really felt like, I had done all that I could. Get into third year means that you get your first degree. Usually they award you with a Bachelor of Medical Sciences in your first 2 years, and then you get your medical degree after the 5 years. And I said,
Mhm.
I prayed about it, and I said, and perhaps it's about the time to just take a break and try sort out myself. At least I've reached the point of getting my first degree. But my dean did not give up on me. And in consultation with the principal, they decided to allow me. I guess one of the positive things with COVID is that it makes it much easier to just allow me to use the platform.
Yes,
So
yes.
they enabled me to use the platform, and so I've been going to classes, although I'm not yet registered. And so the idea again is because of my activity as a student leader and my
Sorry, you said that you can go to the platform, do the schoolwork, but you're not yet registered as a student for year four.
right. I'm not yet registered. I'm not
Oh my
officially
God.
registered.
So
Right.
how are you going
And
to get registered? When are you going to get registered? What does it take? The 28,000 US dollars to get registered?
right. Okay. So to be able to register, what I
Yeah.
have to do first of all is to clear my debt for the year before, which
Yes.
is about some 40,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars. And that would enable me to register, and then I work on raising the funds for fourth year. But again, I have to just give God thanks,
Yes.
that I'm still able to proceed. But of course, it means that it's not a free pass, I have a responsibility still to raise the funds, because the university doesn't run on water,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so I one of the things that what I spoke with the university registrar one time, and he said that one of the things that he really admires that I accept that it is my responsibility to
Responsibility. Yeah.
my tuition, and I'm not asking for a free pass. It's just that my request to the public is just to help, because I cannot do it on my own. And I know the potential impact that I can have and I want to have on my society, both in Dominica and in the Caribbean at large. And I really believe in my dream, and I live
Okay.
to.
I want to kind of this. I want to stop here a little bit because I'm seeing questions here, right? And one of the questions that stands out to me most right now, and it's very important to me because I think I would like you to speak to this. Can you see the question? How
Uh,
do people make a contribution?
okay,
How
how do
can
people
people
make
make a contribution to you? And then there was another question: how do you balance your studies and playing the organ at various functions? But I want you to focus because of time constraints. I'd like for
right,
you to focus on because I want to bring in someone else by 8, and we don't have
right.
much time. So I want you to be able to speak to us about how can you get to that $28,000? How can people out there or people support you? Can you speak to that in any way possible,
Yeah,
please?
man, definitely, definitely. So the last plan that I've cooked up, which is really my final hope of getting this thing covered, is a campaign known as Tehillah 1000 campaign. Now, very briefly, Tehillah is a Hebrew word which means
I
praise.
am here. Okay, I have not left. Go ahead.
Right,
Go ahead.
right, right, right. It's a Tehillah is a Hebrew word which means praise. And for me, I've personally used it to mean praise in spite of the difficulty that I've faced. That I remain grateful and thankful to God for everything. And so the Tehillah 1000 campaign, what it really is, I did the mathematics, and I came to the conclusion that if I could get 1,000 people to
Mm-hmm.
make a donation of 1,000 Jamaican dollars, which is equal to about 20 EC dollars. So
Okay.
because the audience is largely Dominican, if I could get 1,000 people to donate 20 EC dollars a month
Yeah.
for a year, then I will be able to raise all that is required to pay off my debt, as well as to pay for the 2 years that I have left. And that is, of course, in addition
Yeah.
to the funds that come from my student loan, as well as what I'm able to save from my different income
Okay. So let's
generation.
transition. Let's go to how can we get them to get that $20 a month to Devon?
Right.
What is the
So,
procedure,
okay,
please?
so the procedure is in two ways. It can be done online at a website which I've just launched, which is DM Brewster. So DMBREWSTER.com.
All right, let me just put that in here. DMBREWSTER.com.
.com. All right. Once you go to that website, you get all the information about me and the campaign, and also you can make that donation right there. You can actually subscribe to the contribution monthly, and it will automatically take the payment monthly. You can cancel at any time, and so
Mhm.
forth. Now, the website was just launched. If it is that there's any glitch, there's contact information that persons can email me at, and we can organize to see how we can rectify it. Ms. Paul, I think it is very important to mention that this campaign is being managed not by me. It is being managed by my church in Jamaica. And I find it important to put it out there because I'm all about accountability, integrity, and honesty. And I intentionally approach the church to help me in that way to ensure that checks and balances are always kept. And so every month a report will be made to the public as to what is collected, what has been paid to the university, and that sort of thing. So that is the first phase.
So let me ask that question. Is it a case where that money, you don't even get to handle that money because that money goes from that account straight to the university?
Right. So that I don't handle the money at all. The church has is in the process on Monday of creating a particular bank account for specifically for that, again managed by the church. So what will happen is that funds will go to the university from that account to pay off whatever is owed, and then whatever is donated for the 2 years to come will go into that account, which I have no access to, and the church will be responsible for making that payment to the university when the time is due. So that is the first phase, which is online. But of course, most of the people, a lot of people who want to donate are not necessarily able to do that online. So what will happen is that in 2 weeks, we will have an approved list of collectors across Dominica and across the region, because this is an international campaign. So persons can know that these people that they can go to make their monthly contribution. If they want it, you can do it either monthly or quarterly or one lump sum payment. You have the option, but in 2 weeks, I'll publish a list on the website of the approved persons that you can go to. These approved persons will have strict protocols to follow that is set out by my church in terms of how to get the money from the donors to the church and to account for all of that. And as I said, and a report will be made public every month in terms of what is collected. And when you've made a donation, whether it's online or in person, you're going to actually receive an official receipt from the church when they've received that funds.
All right. I'm very happy to hear this. I am very enthusiastic about what you've just shared with me. I am hopeful. I believe you said one day in your preaching on 2 Sundays ago or 3 Sundays ago when I was at your church, it is well. And I believe it is well. I stand with you in the name of Jesus, believing it is well. I will be one of your subscribers. I'm not rich, but I'm willing to put it out there so that it will encourage somebody else to do their part. Okay, let us go out. Let's support. And the reason I think I've known you for many years, Devon. I've seen you in the community. Very positive young man, and we've spoken many times over the years. And I'm really proud of who you are. I'm proud of how you remain positive, and I'm also very proud about the fact that when you came down amidst all your struggle, you wanted to put into action what you've already learned, and you went and volunteered. Okay, you went to volunteer in our COVID center. If it's not there, you will. But you're part of the whole essential
hospital in Rosa. I worked there for about 3 to 4 weeks.
Thank you very much, and I am very proud of you that you would come and want to give back to our nation. As someone said it earlier, you are going to be a great doctor because of all the difficulties that you have gone through. And I pray that your heart will never turn away from Dominica. You know, some people can get bitter and they say, well, me and people didn't support me, so I'm not going to support, But you are a Dominican, and I want to see you succeed personally. I believe Portsmouth wants to see you succeed. I believe we have more than 1,000 people in Portsmouth alone that can actually assist you. So there are lots of people outside of Portsmouth who can also join this to assist. So I want to call on all of us here and all the people who will look at this tomorrow or whenever and say to you, let us go out and support this young man. He is very respectable. He is honest. I trust him. And I think you have a bright future ahead of you. I don't want to end this, but I have to because we have somebody else to come on. But I want you to be able to give your final remarks to the listening tonight.
My final remarks is basically, first of all, a note of praise to God and thanks to him for keeping me. And also thanks to the many people, strangers as well as familiar faces who continue to support me. And just
Yes.
to say, even as I look back thus far on my journey, I cannot say that I would want it any other way in spite of the struggle and the
Yes.
strife. Why? Because it has really taught me the strength and resilience that God has blessed me with. And also it has caused other persons to get closer to God, their faith to increase as God continues to work in my life. And so I know that if He has brought me thus far, I have just 2 more years. That is
Yes.
definitely going to bring me to completion. And I know that someone will be blessed, and I will forever be indebted to God and to God's people, to all of you, for helping with my success. And that will be the hallmark of my ministry as a medical doctor
Amen.
for forever. Precisely.
Amen. Thank you so much. I think
Thank
it
you so
is
much.
a round of applause. And let's go and let's make this work, okay? I still hope one day you can have a concert because I know that music is your first love. And I've
Definitely,
seen you play, I've heard you play, and you are a remarkable talent, okay? So even if you're a great doctor, you can be our musical doctor, okay, bro? Just
definitely. I hope that my concerts will when once my need is over, my concerts will be towards helping other persons
other
like
people.
myself to
Excellent.
be able to access to share education, and that is my goal, and I'm working towards that.
Love it, love it. May God bless you. And
Bless.
as you go, I believe that one of the most appropriate songs that we can have for you and that we can listen to is God. God will make a way. God has made a way already for this young man, and he will continue to make a way for him. God never leaves undone what he has begun. He's a God of completion. That's what I believe. So when God starts us in something, he will complete it. So let us not be daunted and let us not be discouraged, okay? Because God will certainly make a way. Yes, indeed. Trying to let our guest in, but for some reason it says your device is not connected. Hmm. Sister, can you try again? Try again, please. So yes, guys, I was saying that God will make a way. I feel motivated by this young man. I feel encouraged. I feel hopeful for him, and for him to have sat and come up with this calculation. He sat, he did his maths, and he made it really easy. $20 a month. $20, if we just put that aside next to our gas bill or electricity bill and just say that $20 is for this young man just to help him. And for us, so some of us, it will be a sacrifice, but we're not going to die. God will carry us through. $20 a month to help this young man. Just go visit his website. As he said, it's dbrewster.com. I think that's what it was. Let me see if I find it so I can put it here to on our banner again, as we are with our next guest. Sister Rose, you need to retry because it says that your device is not connected. So if you can just try again to come in, I will let you in. So yes, let's support Devon DM Brewster, okay, which stands for Devon Malcolm Brewster. It's pretty easy to remember. So dmbrewster.com, and as he said, he will have a second initiative that will assist with people making it easy for those who can't go online to subscribe, etc. A very transparent process from what I picked up from what he shared, and because I've known him for so long, I don't have two minds about supporting somebody like this. And if we have another doctor in our town and in our nation, then it's better for all of us who are not medical doctors anyway, because don't we just need of medical people? We have 3 hospitals so far, I think, or 4, maybe Granby, Marigot is being built, Portsmouth hopefully will come, you get new and bigger, hopefully guys, I'm just hoping. And of course the new Dominica China Friendship Hospital. And today I think I heard on the news that they're hoping to look at staffing and how they will be able to staff all 3 hospitals. So I mean, what we're talking about here is real stuff. And with this young man needing and wanting an opportunity, to become the medical doctor that is in his heart. And if it wasn't in his heart, I can tell you, based on all the hurdles that he has had to cross thus far, like you, I believe he would have probably given up already. So let us go out and support this young man as much as possible. I thank all of you, of course, for the positive words and affirmations that you extended. Yes, you extended to him. Yes, so Flores says on his website page, it is easy to donate. So guys, let us make it easy. Let us take advantage of the technology and just assist this young man. He shouldn't have to he's going to school, as a matter of fact, but he's not registered. You believe that? That is a lot of faith in a person. That you expect. Yes. Hello. Yes, so first on his website page, it is easy to donate. So guys, let us take advantage of the technology and just assist this young man. Yes. Thank you so much. I see you have your headphones, so that's a smart move. Yes. Okay, so guys, this is the second part and the last part of tonight's activity, but it's not the least part at all. As a matter of fact, it's very important. It's just as important as Devon's perseverance story. We have with us Sister Rose Leon, and Sister Rose Leon is the principal of the St. John's Academy in Portsmouth, and this is a Catholic secondary school. It is homegrown, and she will tell us how many years St. John's Academy has been existing. I want to guess it's about 6 or 7 years. I could be wrong, but Sister Rose has been the principal there for the last 4 years up to today. And some of you might have even seen the graduation, which happened just last Friday, I think, about a week ago. Time flies. Wow, a week ago already, sister.
Yeah. Indeed, it's a week.
Yes. So Sister Rose, I mean, sometimes I don't know how to call her, guys, because she's Dr. Sister Rose, or I don't know if it's Sister Dr. Rose Leon. She can correct me whichever way, but we just call her sister. We call her Sister Rose. She's St. Lucian by birth, but very much Dominican in spirit and in heart. And she's a Clooney sister, the St. Joseph of Clooney religious sister. And before she became the principal of St. John's Academy, she was the principal of the St. John's Primary. So she's very much part of us, and she spent 3.5 years being the principal of St. John's Primary. And so she's going to talk tonight to us, not so much about herself, she's a humble lady, but very much about the institution that she has grown to love. And she has a lot that she can share with you about St. John's Academy. So, sister, welcome. Welcome to Influences. It's the first of its kind. And I would like you to just take it from where I said and where you want to take it to. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Caesarina, for this invitation, and good evening to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, it is an honor to be on this program with you to speak on behalf of the St. John's Academy. It doesn't matter whether you use sister, doctor. I'm first the sister, and that's the
Yes.
important thing.
Yes.
So yes, St. John's Academy is a private secondary school, a Catholic secondary school in Portsmouth. And this school was established by His Lordship, the Archbishop Gabriel Malze. Of course, Bishop Gabriel Malze is also a St. Lucian, but who has served this diocese for many years. Actually, when I was leaving, after having served at the St. John's Primary School, Bishop Malze came into Dominica as the bishop of this diocese. The school was established in 2012. And the purpose for establishing the school was because the bishop felt that there was a need for a more holistic formation and Catholic formation in the north of the island. We have Catholic schools in Roseau, which is the capital, but in Portsmouth, there was no Catholic institution, no Catholic school. So it was established to create an opportunity for Catholic education in that part of the island. And it is for this reason that at this institution, we focus on the Catholic ethos of the school. It was established also to respond to the need for a more holistic education, for value-oriented education. And we do have other schools in the community, but this school focuses on the formation of individuals, the formation of their personalities, and the formation of character. Because character plays a very important part in education.
Mm-hmm.
Academics is one part of education, but the formation of character also plays a very integral role. Because if an institution sends out young people who are not properly formed in their character, they're not of much use to the community. Because you may have high academic performance, but your character may bring you down as an individual. And so this plays a very important part of the formation of this Catholic institution. The purpose for establishing this institution was also to be able to have a specific objective. And therefore, whenever an institution is established, it is always established for that purpose. And the purpose of a Catholic school, the purpose of Catholic education is primarily to provide the young people an opportunity to encounter Jesus Christ.
Yes.
This is the purpose of Catholic education, and this is the Catholic ethos. And therefore, in a Catholic school, although we focus quite a lot on the academics, because all our Catholic schools enjoy academic excellence and we know them well.
Yes.
But it is also an avenue to draw young people closer to Jesus, and so that these young people can use Jesus as a model. Now, it may sound easy, but it's not
Mhm.
easy at all,
No.
because we know that to follow in the footsteps of Jesus is difficult, it is
Mhm.
challenging, but it is the only way that we can really choose to do what he wants us to do by
Mhm.
following in his footsteps. And
Yeah.
if we can introduce young people to that kind of education and that kind of formation, we are indeed helping them in every other aspect of their lives, and
Mhm.
also helping them to become responsible and committed citizens.
Systems, yeah. Mhm.
But first, they need to be able to commit themselves to Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
The school, the first principal of the school was Dr. Juliana
Yeah.
Magloire
Yes.
from Portsmouth,
Mhm.
and she served the school for a period of 2 years,
Mhm.
after which we had an acting principal, and I came in to take over the principalship of this school.
Yes.
Being at St. John's Academy has been a wonderful experience. Journeying with young people is indeed a wonderful experience. And often we think of young people, as troublemakers in society, those who make life a bit challenging for us, those who don't listen and those who do not hear. But we may have that perspective of young people if we have not really had a profound experience of young people. And when we have a profound experience of young people, when we get to encounter young people and to spend time with them, particularly within an educational institution, we begin to discover the beauty in them. And therefore, journeying with them becomes less of a challenge, but something to enjoy.
Mhm.
Of course, you may have some who are a bit difficult to deal with sometimes because they have their many issues. But what defines a young person are not the issues that they're challenged with on a daily basis. What defines a young person is the extent to which that young person can open up to the action of God at work in his or her life, and to allow himself or to allow herself to be formed through the intervention of other people,
Mhm.
whether it is at a school, within the church, in the wider community, or whatever the setting. But the school, the Catholic school, and St. John's Academy tries to provide young people with such an environment, with an
So,
environment where they can be open to Jesus.
okay, thank you, sister, for that, for setting that foundation. And we know that over the years, the Catholic Church has been well known to institute or to create as many educational institutions, not just in Dominica, but throughout the entire world. Truly, education has been one of the big things of the church over the years. So you are very much on point in sharing that tonight. What I would like you to share with us at this point is maybe a little bit more specifics about SJA. What is happening at SJA? What is the student body like? I know that graduation just happened. You had six students who graduated most recently. And what's going on with SJA? What can you tell the public that they need to know about the school specifically at this point?
But presently, the school has 75 students.
Mhm.
It started with 37 students and it has grown to 75 students. We
Right.
have 12 full-time teachers and 4 part-time teachers. At this institution, we offer a range of subjects just as any other secondary school. And so we have a science department, and we
Mhm.
offer subjects like biology, chemistry, physics, integrated science. We also have a social science department where we students study social studies and history. We offer languages, French and Spanish, and of course, English language, and we do study English literature. Our core subject, mathematics, as well. So we offer a wide range of subjects. We also offer vocational subjects such as technical drawing and food and nutrition. So when a student comes to the St. John's Academy, this student has an opportunity to study a wide range of subjects. And the advantage that they have at St. John's Academy is that we offer to students 12 subjects in Form 1. So we challenge them to reach their full potential. As they go along, if we notice that there is a child who is a little weaker, then this child would probably be advised to do 8 or 7 subjects, which of course would still leave them at the national average. So our students, we offer a range of subjects to our students, many subjects, and we do not limit our students at all. So we allow them to explore their full potential. And what we have noticed at this institution is that the students are challenged to go beyond, and they do discover that they can do a little more than they would have thought that they would have been able to do initially. So this is a plus for the St. John's Academy, and our students have been very successful. As a matter of fact, St. John's Academy has always ranked among the top 2 schools on the island. And last year, we were in the first place on the island as an institution in the CSEC examination.
Can you say that again? Can you say that again?
Last St. John's Academy last year was the top school in 2019, the top school in Dominica in the CSEC examinations. And we have, so for the past 7 years, we've ranked either first or second on the island. But also individually, our students perform very well.
Yes.
We have students who sit the CSEC exams, maybe 12 subjects, and in one instance, we had a child who sat 14 subjects. And we have students who have obtained grade 1s in 10 subjects with 2 grade 2s. And among those 10 subjects, several distinctions. So not only do we rank high as a school, but the individual students also perform very well.
Yes.
So St. John's Academy does not limit the students at all. Right. And for a student to be able to say the 12 subjects, even students whom we would have thought would be slow students who can go into the CSEC exams and write 12 subjects and with passes in all those subjects, it is a tremendous success for the school. Another advantage is that because of the small population, we are able to give children individual attention. Not every child can survive in a large classroom setting. So St. John's Academy offers that opportunity to be in a small class so that the students can get individual attention. We have had situations where students have been transferred from other schools where they were considered low achievers, low performers, and when they get to us, because of the individual attention, these students have excelled. And I can remember one case very specifically when the students came to us with a 30-40% average. And when she spent 1 year with us, and at the end of that year, she was able to obtain passes in all her CSEC subjects.
Amazing.
So this is what St. John's Academy does for students.
Excellent. So I know that you have a music program. I'm not sure if you mentioned that. Is music a subject or is it just an extracurricular activity that the school offers to students?
It is an extracurricular activity, but we are going to reintroduce it as a subject at the school. Okay. We have established a school band. We started with music as a core subject. And because we thought that there were some students who this showed greater interest in the subject area, we decided to focus on these students and we formed a school band. Right. But now we have more students who are thinking of music, maybe of doing the music as a core subject. So we are going to introduce music as a core subject. We have a specialist from Finland who is an accomplished musician who works with our students. And so they have an opportunity to explore all the instruments. We have the saxophone, trumpets, and trombones, and the keyboard, guitars, the bass guitar. We have the pan, the steel pan, and every possible piece of instrument that you can think of. So St. John's Academy is really looking forward to
Yeah.
introducing a school band in Portsmouth
It's
so that
about
Portsmouth
time.
people can enjoy a school band.
Yes. I know we have seen a little bit of them in action during independence and other such activities that sometimes the students put on together, put on as a matter of fact, as a student body, and they showcase their talent. I remember attending one of the shows where you had several of them. They had just started learning the music and learning the musical instruments, and they were able to put on a small concert along with you and other people, other members of staff. And I think that is positive, and there will be bigger things I think to come with the school band. So I'm looking forward to seeing the growth, and of course I know students move on, but as people come in, others will learn. We can see some of your students are actually showing interest in the music. They play at church, and hopefully some of them will transition further into the church and also assist with the music ministry there as well. So wonderful work, sister.
Yes, and it's important to mention to the connection with the church
Yes.
because as a Catholic school, they play an integral role in the life of the church as well. And
Hmm.
one of the things that we have helped them to do is to help bring the Catholic church community into a reflection into what it means to be Catholic. And that is
Yes.
why we encourage them to participate in many activities in the church. So, for instance, during the Lenten season, these students would help the Catholic faithful to be able to reflect on the significance of Lent and to be able to do that in a very creative way so that they themselves can
Yeah.
enjoy what it means to be not only Catholic but to be Christian.
Sister, one could ask, is it only Catholic students who attend your school? And how do they adjust who if they're not Catholics? How does the school relate to such students, and how do the students adjust? Do you have any problems with students who are not Catholics, for example?
Not at all. The school is open to students of all denominations,
Mm-hmm.
and we have students from all denominations attending St. John's Academy, and
Yes.
they fit in very well with no difficulty at all. As a matter of fact, if you were to walk into the school, you would not be able to make any distinction between who's Catholic, who's Adventist, or who belongs to another denomination, because
Mm-hmm.
we welcome all the students. And what we teach them is what it means to be Christian, to
That's
be
it.
open, to be
That's it.
able to welcome the
Diversity.
other
Mm-hmm.
students, other denominations.
Mm-hmm.
So it is also an important part of education, being
Yes.
open to others, being open to their own beliefs, being
Mm-hmm.
open to their own perspectives. Because if, as a young, educated person, you are not able to accept the perspectives of others, then something is wrong somewhere. So
Right.
we welcome all students, and they are very happy to be with us. They do not feel that they're not part of the school because they're not
Mm-hmm.
Catholic, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
They're very happy to be at St. John's Academy, and their
Excellent.
parents as well. We have children of pastors of different denominations,
Yes.
and they don't have, there's no problem with them at the St. John's Academy. We
Yes,
do
and the
welcome
parents
them.
are very committed. The parents come to the meetings. When I pass, sometimes I see all these vehicles park up, and I know it's SJ having parents teachers meetings and so on, and everybody comes. So I think that is a very good sign of the kind of unity that the community also needs, but also what SJA is trying to foster in the hearts and minds of students. We do know, sister, that nothing is perfect, right?
Indeed, nothing is perfect.
Right. So we know that SJA has some challenges as well. And as a matter of fact, having listened to the graduation ceremony on last Friday, because I had a day's vacation, so I could have viewed the whole thing furthermore. And I remembered you were highlighting the struggles that SJ experienced during COVID-19. Do you want to share anything about that, and how is the school coping with its challenges going forward? What are the plans to cope with these challenges? Sorry, or have you coped during COVID-19? And uh, I suppose what's the way forward?
Yes. Well, the school, yes, has its challenges, and those challenges are mainly financial.
Yeah.
The other challenges we can work with. But during COVID-19, we found ourselves in a situation where we were not able to meet all the financial demands of the institution. Now, COVID-19 created a very a unique situation for us, as it did for other institutions as well. I recall during the experience of Hurricane Maria, we were in a similar situation, a financial situation as well, where we were unable to meet all our financial demands. But
Mm-hmm.
with Hurricane Maria, the focus was mainly Dominica, and we were able to reach out to the rest of the world to assist us. But
Mm-hmm.
with COVID 19, it is a global pandemic.
Yeah.
Everyone has been affected. And therefore, the institutions that would have helped very readily, they too are being looking at their finances very closely.
Mm-hmm.
So it has left us in a situation where there is very little aid coming in. And it has been difficult to be able to even pay the salaries of our teachers.
Yeah.
However, even as I speak of this difficulty, I can't speak of this difficulty without highlighting the commitment of those teachers, because
Yeah.
this has been the driving force during COVID 19. And you ask, how are we surviving? We
Yes.
are surviving because of the spirit of St. John's Academy. I
Okay.
spoke about the students earlier on, but now
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk a bit about the teachers. We had of course, like every other institution in Dominica and in the rest of the Caribbean, we had to use the online classroom setting to educate our students. And our teachers did that readily.
Yes.
But what was amazing was that they did it even without a salary. The teachers never stopped educating the children. And when I informed them that some of the parents of our students had lost their jobs and that the payment of salaries would have been very difficult. As a matter of fact, I was very frank and I said to them, teachers, I am not able to pay you because our parents have been affected by the COVID 19 situation. And the
Mm-hmm.
few who are still in their jobs are not able to provide sufficient funds to be able to pay all the teachers. And when one would have expected maybe an uproar or teachers refusing to work because they were not paid, I recall at that meeting, the first teacher who spoke, he said, "Sister, you know something? No one called COVID 19 and no one invited COVID 19. And therefore, we're not responsible for COVID 19, and you are not responsible for COVID
Yeah.
19. And
Wow.
in life, there is a time to receive and
Mm-hmm.
there is a time to give. And
Ecclesiastes. Yeah.
therefore, if this is a situation, we will continue educating the students. And the teachers continued educating the students. And not only to simply continue educating the students, but to give them the quality attention that they needed during the online classes.
That.
All the teachers were on board.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas one would have expected the teachers to complain about not having received a salary, they were more concerned about students who had not submitted their work on the
Assignment.
platform.
Wow.
And they were sending text messages all day long
Yes.
asking me to get in touch with the students to ensure that these students post their work on the platform. And this is commendable. And therefore, whereas we had the difficulty and the challenge of COVID 19,
Mm-hmm.
focus for us was not the challenge. The focus for us was the commitment and the Christian values that were displayed during a moment of crisis. And for me, this is the essence of Catholic education. This
Amen.
is the essence of Christian education. St. John's Academy's parents were in praise of the teachers. We had
Yes.
several meetings last week, and at every meeting, the parents were in praise of the St. John's Academy teachers, and they only thanked them. They
Yes.
said, Sister, we would like to thank the St. John's Academy for taking care of our children during this moment of crisis. The teachers did not turn their backs, and this speaks volumes to us. Hats
Amen.
off to you, teachers.
So,
Hats
so
off to St. John's Academy
So,
teachers.
sometimes we hear all this negative thing about, oh, nobody does anything for free. Everybody's their money, their money, their money. And there might be some truth to it to a certain extent where a lot of people won't give freely. But I still believe, and from what you're sharing today, that there are people in our locality, not far, we don't have to go far to look for them. There are people in our locality who are willing to give of themselves rather freely for the benefit of others, and especially for the benefit of our young people, our children. So commendations to the staff, sister. I saw you very passionately at the graduation doing that. And when you were speaking, a number of people who were viewing, we were viewing the graduation on the page of our parish of St. John and St. Louis Facebook page. And people were saying, boy, she sounds like a politician. Boy, you were really, and I think it was just the passion and the joy and the gratitude that you feel towards you, or that you felt or feel, you still feel that way towards your staff. That is why you were able to come up with so much, so much from you, and everybody thought, boy, she's like a politician. But I want to join you and all the parents and all the students and everyone in our community, really. I want to join you in thanking the teachers of SJA for making it happen for the students. But it says something, sister, about leadership. It says something about leadership. Leadership is very important in institutions. And I think we must commend you, your lead, in order to lead your staff who would believe so strongly in their students. So I want to commend you too on behalf of all of us and the teachers and the students of your school.
Thank you, Caesarina. You see, because one has to create within an institution the atmosphere to get the response that you want, whether it's from the students or whether it's from the teachers. You are responsible for creating that atmosphere. You can create an atmosphere for negativity, and you can create an atmosphere that would elicit a positive response. And therefore, this does not mean that the teachers themselves don't have needs. This
Yeah.
does not mean that they do not need their salary. This does not mean that every effort doesn't have to be made to ensure that they are paid. We do have to make every effort
Yes.
to ensure that our teachers are paid, although this is being done gradually.
Yes, yes.
But
yes.
I am trying to emphasize the response of the teachers, because the positive atmosphere that it brings to the institution will
Yes.
contribute to the growth of the school, and will also contribute to the growth of the students. Now, what this has done, it has helped the parents to own the school even more.
Yes,
It has
yes.
helped the parents to desire to do the same for the school, for the
Yes.
children, and for the teachers. And that's why on Thursday, the parents, actually, it was yesterday, the
Yeah.
parents actually celebrated the teachers. The
Wow.
PTA
Was that a
executive
surprise?
came
What
to
is
the
what's the
school.
surprise, sister?
Yes, they came to the school to thank the teachers, and they had we celebrated the success of the COVID-19 online classroom,
Yes,
but
yes.
also we celebrated the teachers who were so positive and who have given of their all to the institution. And
Excellent.
this was a very good gesture on the part of the parents. So
Wow.
parents, if you are viewing, thank you for this gesture.
Thank you,
And this will
parents.
continue
Good
to
job.
help the St. John's Academy. And we are moving strong.
Yes.
We are not deterred by challenges. We are
Amen.
strong. We are focused and we know what our objective is. It is the formation of the children. It is to
Yes.
help the children of Portsmouth and the environs and the
Mhm.
children of Dominica. And regardless of the challenges, we are moving on strong as a school.
So, sister, thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. So, can I ask a personal question? Is that a debt? Do we still owe the teacher's salary?
We are still paying, let me put it that way, we are still in the process of paying the
Okay.
salaries because
Okay.
it happens gradually. So
Gradually,
indeed,
yes.
we are still owing them, but
Yes.
as time goes by, we
Okay.
try to pay them, and we are trying to seek funds as well for
Okay.
the support of the school. And so we are owing them. It is a debt because we are owing them.
Yes.
It's a debt,
Okay.
yes.
All right. So what's in store for the new year, the upcoming year? I mean, September is coming. We're not sure if students are going to be back in the classroom. We're hoping and praying that all students can all be back in the classroom. But is SGA projecting anything at this point? Have you opened registration? How is that going? How can people come in if so? And also, I think I remember hearing that you are presently organizing an orientation program for grades 5 to 6, in preparing them to go to high school. Can you tell us a little bit more about these, please?
Yes, we're not too sure when school will reopen, but we are ready. When
Yes.
school reopens, we will be ready. The
Okay.
student, we have started registration, and many parents have approached the school. The parents have been impressed with St. John's Academy, and particularly during the moment of crisis. And
Yes.
they have approached the school because they would like the children to attend this institution.
That's
We have
great.
started registering students to the St. John's Academy.
Okay.
We have also introduced a program.
Sorry, sister, is registration closed or
No,
can
registration is still open. Throughout the month of July, we will be registering students to the school.
so how can one get to the school? How can one get to register, please?
So there are registration forms available at the school,
Mm-hmm.
and we have announced the registration in some of the parishes, and some registration cards have been circulated as well. So if a
Okay.
parent wants to register the child to the school, the parent comes to the school
Mm-hmm.
and you bring it with you a copy of the child's birth certificate, the child's last academic report from the school,
Mm-hmm.
from the last school attended. And
Yeah.
if the student has a health problem, it is important that you bring along a health report. And there is a registration fee of $150.
Okay.
So these are the basic things that you would need to register the students at the St. John's Academy.
Okay.
We
Thank you.
have also introduced a program, a summer program for students of grade 5 and grade 6, because as an institution, we see it necessary to prepare students, to give them some form of orientation into secondary school life. So we call it an Introduction into Secondary School Life program. It is
Yeah.
for students of grade 5 and grade 6 from all primary schools. Anybody interested is invited to participate in this program. We are going to do some basic subjects like mathematics and English, which can only enhance their preparation for the common entrance exams. But we are also going to focus on health and family life education, information technology,
Yeah.
character formation,
Yeah.
and all the preparation that they would need to enter the secondary school and to be successful at a secondary school when they are ready to begin that level of education. Because very often children make that transition with no preparation, and
Mm-hmm.
there are so many expectations that we have of them. Once they get there, we expect them to be settled. We
Yeah.
expect them to be mature, but we must
Mm-hmm.
not forget that they are making a transition from the primary school
Primary.
into
Yeah.
the secondary school.
That's
So we
right.
need to offer that opportunity to them to make a smooth transition.
No,
And
no,
this is what St. John's Academy will be offering.
excellent. Sister, is it compulsory or mandatory that those who have been registered attend that particular program, or is it left to the parents to opt in or out?
All students who have registered with us will be encouraged to participate in that program. But it is also open to students who may have registered with other institutions, because
Yes.
they too would need to be prepared to
Yes.
go to that secondary school as well.
Mhm.
So we encourage all our students, all those who are coming to SJA, to be part of that program. And but other students can also attend.
So you said, did you give the dates? You gave the dates. I may have missed it.
It begins on the 13th of July. So school closes officially on the 10th of July. So
Right.
the program begins on the 13th of July,
And
and
goes
it
up
runs
till
through the month of July.
July. So your teachers are all going to be part of that, or it's a case of just a
Teachers are
handful?
going to be part of the
Teachers
program.
are teaching in summer. That's what you're telling me?
That's part of the life of the St. John's Academy. You won't believe what happens here. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to ask teachers to come during the summer. Last summer, we
Amazing.
introduced a program for our the upcoming not grade, but Form 5 students,
Yes.
because we noticed that students are usually very stressed out over SBAs
Yes.
because they are not used to research. And
Mhm.
whereas research can be such an enjoyable experience, research is indeed an enjoyable experience.
Yes.
And therefore, we decided to introduce a program for the students in July where they were able to come in and enjoy doing the SBAs, enjoy research.
Ah,
And you will be surprised. The teachers were there with them, and the teachers were enjoying the research as well. So when
yes.
these students started in Form 5, most of them had completed the SBAs. So the stress of the SBA was gone, and our
Sister,
students are beginning to enjoy research at SGA.
you
So
make
SGA
school
students, teachers are committed,
you make
and they
school sound like
come,
fun. You make
yes, they
school
come
sound like fun. I feel like I want to go back to high school and attend SJA.
and attend SGA,
With you
because
as my
SGA,
principal.
indeed, SJE, it's a lot of fun
Yes.
and it's a lot to enjoy, but it is good
Yes.
fun. It is
Yes.
not simply fun and then you neglect your
Yeah.
education. It is
Mhm.
teaching them to enjoy education. This is
Yes.
what it is. And so they can enjoy doing the things that they thought would have been difficult in a very relaxed atmosphere. And our students now look forward to the SBAs. As a matter of fact, on Monday, the upcoming Form 5 and the upcoming Form 4 will
Yes.
be starting the SBA sessions as well. So while we are having the program for the grade 5 and grade 6 students, we
Yes.
also have our SBA program going on for our older students. And the entire school will be working at home too on the techniques of research, so that when
Yes.
they get to that point, they would have known everything that they need to know where research is concerned.
Sister, this is brilliant because a lot of students go to university and still do not quite know how to do research. And I think SJA is on the right track in preparing students for that, to even go beyond college and to take it to the higher level. So good job. I think SJ is on the right track, and I'm very proud. I'm very proud to know that SJ is within the town of Portsmouth and it's homegrown, and it's Catholic. I'm Catholic. I feel very happy about that. But also the fact is, I mean, it is within our own town, and our people are benefiting, and other people from other parts of Dominica as well do come to SJA. So I'm very proud of that institution. I think we all should be, I'm proud of SJA. Sister, if you were to say anything to the public right now, as pertains to how SGA can probably get some kind of support from the community, what would it be that you would say to us?
If there is anyone who is interested in giving some financial support, we are open to that. Nothing is too small, no amount is too small when you're looking for funds. But also, we're asking the public to be very supportive, to continue being very supportive when we have our fundraising activities as well. As a matter of
Yes.
fact, we had one planned for the month of March, but due to COVID-19, we had to cancel this activity. But we will be organizing lots of activities, fundraising activities, and we ask the general public to support us. And if there is any institution or any individual who would like to make a financial contribution to the St. John's Academy, we would welcome that initiative.
Yes,
So
and
simply, yes.
apart from financial, money is important, certainly. Is there any other way that people can support the school? I mean, you spoke about the fundraiser. Are there any things like maybe equipment donations? I don't know, things like computers. I'm just saying, like from the top of my head, is there anything that maybe the school would like to throw there for people to support?
We have our needs list is a bit long, but what we are
Okay.
trying to do now is to create a sports complex for our students, because I have focused a lot on the academics, but
Yes.
physical education and sports also plays a very important part of the life of the school. Now,
Mhm.
we have the old foundation that was the school that was destroyed by Hurricane Maria. And on this old foundation, we are trying to build a sports complex. And
Yeah.
therefore, if we can get donations such as cement and well, of course, we have received some donation of cement
Okay.
from Argos Cement Dominica. We are very
Excellent.
grateful to them for that.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
are still trying to get some more donations to be able to build this complex that we would like to build. So for anything else that is needed, for the steel, for everything that has to do with
Everything that's needed
construction, the
for that.
sand and the
Yeah.
stones, and even people who would want to offer their services to build it, we would be open to that as well.
Okay.
So
So,
that
sister,
can be a priority for us now, for the people of
yes.
Portsmouth, to help us
Yes.
build the
Excellent.
complex.
So, how can people make those donations? How can they reach you? How can they reach the school? Maybe to if they are interested in making a donation to the school, how can they reach you? How
Okay,
can they
for
reach
people for the Portsmouth area, they're free to visit the school,
you?
and for others, we have I can give the contact number. So our contact number for St. John's Academy is 265-2731, 265-2731. You can also reach us on via email, stjacademy1, number one, at gmail.com. stjacademy1 at gmail.com, all lowercase. And you can reach us either through the telephone or the email, and we can continue the conversation from there.
Yes, yes. Sister, someone, thank you for that. Someone is making a very important and very interesting suggestion just before we wrap up. It says, since there was an excellent virtual learning forum at the school during COVID-19, would the school consider accepting regional students online? The school can make extra money offering online CXC class. I think it's an interesting and very, very you could say, up to date suggestion, right? It's timely, it's up to date. So I don't know what are your thoughts on that, or maybe is that something you would want to discuss with your teachers?
I
And
think yes, this is it's a very interesting comment, and I
yes,
think it's something that we can take into consideration. It would
yes,
have to be brought to the board level, and of course to be discussed with the teachers and the parents as well. But
yes.
thank you. This is a very interesting comment, and I think it's something that we can consider as a school.
Yes, thank you. So thank you for
Thank
that,
you.
Tasha. I think her name is Tasha Herman. I'm not sure where she's from, but thank you for that wonderful suggestion to SJA. Okay, so sister, our time is quickly going by, and is there any final word that you would like to leave with the general public, and about SJA, and or just anything that you would like to possibly share right now as we wrap up?
Yes,
As your closing
so
remark.
I would just like to um, encourage parents to offer their students an opportunity for a well-rounded education.
Yeah.
At the St. John's Academy, we take care of your children, and when you leave them with us, you have nothing to fear. We do our best. We go out of our way to ensure that every child is catered for and that no child is left behind. So we invite you to visit the St. John's Academy. The registration is open. You can come in at any time from 9 to 1 to the office, and we will be happy to have you. We thank the parents who have come to us, and they are very enthusiastic, and we know that you too can benefit from what is offered at the St. John's Academy.
Awesome. All right.
And
Well,
thank
thank you
you,
very.
Caterina, for the opportunity for this program.
Okay, you're welcome, sister, and thank you for accepting the offer. I'm so proud of SJA. I'm very happy that you are the helm of it as well and making such a meaningful contribution to our local people, our students, our Dominica, our region. You're a regional lady anyway. So thank you so much. And we want to wish SJA all the best. I'm asking all the folks out there to come out and support SJA. And of course, our previous guest, Devon Brewster. You and Devon have something in common. You both love cello, and Devon, I think cello. I forgot to tell him that, and my condolences to Devon. Cello was his aunt, I think, and you, of course, good friend, and once upon worked in St. John when she was in St. John's. You being principal, and of course continued even at SJA the relationship.
And she worked with the sisters for many years as well.
That's right. That's right.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So
They're
we are
beautiful to
very.
settle.
Yeah, so tomorrow God's Spare is Cello's funeral, a send off, and those of us who can attend, to support the family, let's do that and give Cello a last respect. Yeah. So thank you, sister. God bless you.
You're welcome and have a good evening.
You too. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So folks, when you had it, we had two great guests, I would say, and two people that we can truly look back and say, thank God for them. They are doing remarkable things. Sister is doing remarkable things, and Devon himself um, has done remarkable work and continues to do that for his studies. And so, as I said, let us go out and support them and be the patriots that we are. If we cannot give them anything tangible, we can maybe encourage someone else to support them, support SJA, support Devon, and anybody out there truly who needs to be blessed in some way. I want to thank all of you for joining the discussion tonight from different points of Dominica and the world. I know my friend there in UK, Florest. I want to thank you for joining as well, and always just supporting. I saw Anne. I mean, there are lots of you. I see Miss Rosie B. Felix. Thank you very much for coming. I saw Joanne earlier. Tasha Herman. Such a great suggestion. Thank you so much. Nana, my mom, thank you for the support. I see you want to send me back to school. Jacqueline, thank you. Malcolm, I see you, bro. Just all of you. I can't call everybody. Lady, let me give you a big shout out to Lady. Lady, I miss you too in the town. I know you have good energy. Always the poetry going. I know you have that lockdown. You need to do some more of that. Okay, Lady Joseph. Nadi, I saw you earlier. Nadisha. Just a lot of you. I just want to thank you. This is, as I said, that's the first time that I'm trying this out. I want to bring our community together and get more of the positive energy that exists in our town to light for all to see, but not just in our town, in our beautiful Dominica as well. But my real interest is really to bring our people to that place. So once again, thank you very much. My name is Caesarina Paul. People call me Cez. I go by Cez Paul, thanks to Marsha McIntyre. She named me Cez. Yes, Marsha. She used to shout my name from right across the university, wherever she saw me, from one point to the other, there in Texas at MSU. And so the name stayed, and I like it. It's Cez, C-E-Z. And so I go by Influences on my Facebook page, on my YouTube channel as well, because I intend to influence positive things. So once again, thank you all. Have a blessed night. Thank God for all of you. Remember to stay positive amidst all the troubles of this world. God is bigger, and he has us. Like Malcolm D. Brewster, or D. Malcolm Brewster would say, it is well. It is well. It is well. And the anchor holds. So one more time, God bless you. Thank you. And hopefully next Friday, if I can get one or two good guests, we will have it again. Just look out for this. All right. See you around. Stay well, my people, and stay safe. God bless.